As you know, we have been discussing for the last 6 months about changing up how we teach the co-requisite college algebra courses, the A60 through A66. We're not changing how we teach the A80 or A81 sections. And if you need an explanation as to the differences between those courses, how students are placed, please let me know. I'll be glad to let you tell you about that. That's all in our TSIA cut scores. Um, but our A60s sections, we're changing those up. We are separating out how we grade in those courses, as well as the fact that students are no longer required to be in the same lab section as they are the lecture section. Now, the very first semester, they're probably going to still be because the student success coaches aren't real sure about this change, and students don't really understand about this change. But I think as we go forward, they will. So that is one thing that is changing. So the lab and lecture instructors are no longer paired. So one thing that you as instructors are going to have to get used to is a lecture instructor has absolutely no control over the lab. You cannot tell the lab instructor what to cover. You cannot say anything about the lab, anything of that nature. The grades are completely separate also. So it's going to be very interesting to see how this goes because we are doing this as a pilot and everything, but again, we are going to have to stick to this and not revert back into our routine of, okay, if I'm seeing students struggle here, you need to cover this in the lab. That can't happen. The lab is going to have their own schedule to follow, their own things that they have to do. So just be careful about things of that nature. I know this very first semester, you're probably going to have the same exact students, but you may have one or two off. Even if you have the exact same students, remember your courses are completely separate from each other. Okay, so just be careful about that. Now, looking at the courses in the college algebra course, one of the big things is the grading. The grading policies, you no longer have ALEKS objectives in here. You only have the homework, the quizzes, and the exams. You no longer have the writing assignments in here. You're pretty much teaching it like a college algebra regular course, except you are still meeting for the 2 hours each day, and you are still teaching it with that supplemental instruction support in there. You're just grading it like you would a normal college algebra. The percentages are the same, that sort of thing. You will still encourage them to go to the math hub. You will still make sure, hey, remember, you're supposed to be in that other lab class because these go pair and pair. If a student drops your course, they will be dropped from the lab course and vice versa. So if a student drops the lab course, they will get dropped from your course. It is still a co-requisite. The students must still be enrolled in both courses for the entire semester. So that is one thing that we're going to have to work together to make sure about. So this is a change about it. Just please make sure that you've got that in mind. Now, in the lab section, This is where they're going to have their Alex objectives, their writing assignments, and things of that nature. And I will go over that in the next video.